Alex First.
And I'm Noah Zingarelli.
And welcome to Conscious Kitchen, where we teach you fun, delicious, and nutritious plant-based recipes. Today we're going Thai, and we're going to be sharing two of our favorite Thai-inspired recipes with you guys. So for our meal, we're doing a chopped Thai salad, and then we're going to have a nice beverage with this one, a classic Thai iced tea with a twist. So we're going to get started with our tea first. So Noah, take it away.
Right, thanks, Alex. So we're going to make as Alex said, a healthier version of the classic Thai iced tea. We spent about a month in Thailand a couple of years ago, and we had one of these iced teas every morning. Absolutely love them.
Every single morning.
If you've never had Thai iced tea, it's typically made with a black tea. It's very sweet and it has some sort of a cream or milk on the top. So when we were there, we were in a Thai grocery store and we found a Thai iced tea mix that we were like, great, let's like make this. We looked at it and like, not the cleanest ingredients, a lot of food dyes and
Yellow number 5.
Not the greatest stuff that we want to use. So we're trying a sort of elevated, healthier version of this. No food dye. We're switching to some healthier sugars and yeah, so let's get started. I boiled about 4 cups of water here. So you start with 4 cups of water. Take it just off the boil. Once the water boils, just remove it from the heat. I've got 2 tablespoons of some nice black tea. I like to use bulk tea versus tea bags. Usually it's a better quality tea. You can get a better steeping with loose leaf. So I'm just gonna drop the black tea in and give it a little mix. And I'm just gonna let it steep for 3 minutes. With black teas, 3 to 5 minutes is a good steep time. I found this tea, it starts to get a little oversteeped and a little bitter around the 5-minute mark. So I think 3 minutes is the sweet spot with this tea. Depending on what tea you get, it's up to you. You can experiment to your taste and liking. So I'm gonna let this steep for, as I said, about 3 minutes, and then I'll strain it, and then I'm gonna add the sugars.
And so black tea is caffeinated, right?
Yes, right. This is a classic Camellia sinensis tea plant. Most teas come from that. Definitely has caffeine in it.
Definitely a really nice afternoon pick-me-up or morning beverage. And as Noah said, traditionally there is a milk component. So in Thai iced tea, usually it's sweetened condensed milk. And we did a couple of experiments last week. We found a vegan condensed milk. However, even though it was delicious, it didn't give you that kind of like creamy, milky look when you pour it over in the tea. So we're gonna be using a light coconut milk today to drizzle into the top once it's all cold and we're ready to assemble. And what are our sugar alternatives today?
Right, so instead of just using white sugar or cane sugar, we're using maple syrup and some coconut sugar. We got this really nice organic coconut sugar. Gives it a really almost nutty flavor. I really love this coconut sugar, so we're using that. And then to give it sort of that classic Thai iced tea taste without the weird ingredients, we're adding a little vanilla. That kind of gives it that classic Thai iced tea taste. So we're just at about 2 minutes. I'm just going to give this another few seconds and then I will strain it.
So these are all ingredients that you probably have heard of. You probably already know and maybe even have in your kitchen. So this is a really fun drink. We're big beverage people, so having something on hand that's fun, easy to put together is definitely a win for us. And as Noah said, he's going to strain this and let it cool. It's really important that you let the tea come all the way down to a cold temperature in your fridge before you pour it over your ice. And so we're gonna do that while I get started on the salad, but Noah's gonna strain our tea.
I've got my nice large measuring cup here, which is perfect to hold all this tea, and I won't re-steep these leaves. Sometimes with loose leaf tea you can get a couple steepings out of it, but once is enough for this. So like Alex said, you need this to cool down a little bit, so I'm gonna throw it in the fridge.
When do you add the sugar?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I gotta add the sugar, of course. I need a little measuring spoon. So here I've got my coconut sugar. Sometimes I can just eat this like with a spoon. It's so tasty. So yeah, thank you. That's a 1/4 cup of coconut sugar. Got a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. We get this great organic maple syrup right from Vermont. And then I've got some vanilla extract. So 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Drop it in there and then just stir it around until the sugars all dissolve, and then we'll pop it into the fridge.
All right. So getting started with our salad. Our protein in our salad today is going to be edamame beans. So I have water here just about boiled, and I have some shelled frozen edamame, about 2 cups. So once this comes up, I'm gonna drop it in. We've done edamame on the show before, so once it comes to float, you can then strain it off. And in my personal opinion, there are 3 key elements to making an exquisite salad. First and foremost is texture. So you always want to have like a crunchy bit in your salad. Today the edamame is going to give a nice kind of pop, and then we're also going to be using roasted cashews. And then how you cut your vegetables is super important. You never want to bite into like a huge piece of lettuce. We're going to be using a grater and a mandolin today to really finely shred everything. Not only does this add that nice crunch that we're looking for, but it allows you to get pretty much every single ingredient in each bite, which is what we want. So my water is coming up to a boil. I'm going to drop these real quick. Our second important element to make an exquisite salad is using fresh herbs. So I think that fresh herbs just really kind of elevates a salad. We're going to be using cilantro today. And third is using a homemade dressing. There's definitely some great store-bought dressings you can find that are good in a pinch, but in my opinion, if you really want to elevate your salad and add that element of freshness, a homemade dressing is going to do just that. So we're going to get started over here. In my bowl, I have some finely shredded romaine lettuce that I already cleaned and spun dry. And then we're going to be using red cabbage today, or purple cabbage. So this is a mandolin, and I think aside from my Vitamix, this is probably my absolute favorite kitchen tool. Like I said, it really helps to just achieve the texture, the size of the bite that you want, and it's got a few different sizes here. So we're gonna go pretty thin. I bought this at a hardware store for like 20 bucks, maybe like 8 years ago, and she's still working just fine. So you can definitely find cheap but quality equipment that's gonna help you out in the kitchen. So we're just gonna start to shred our cabbage. I've quartered it. I think that whenever you're using cabbage, you should always use a mandolin, because look how thin and perfect this is. So I'm actually gonna do this right into the bowl so that it's a little bit easier. So bringing my bowl here, we are gonna shred our cabbage. And one thing I really like about this salad in particular too is that you can mix and match with what you have. So if you don't have romaine, but you have some kale or spinach, you can throw that in. I've made this salad with arugula. Whatever you have typically will work. And our dressing today is a sesame garlic dressing that is just oh so delicious. So I'll probably do about half a cabbage. So this is 1/4 here. Noah, I'm gonna ask you to keep an eye on my edamame.
A few more minutes.
And then we're also going to be doing red peppers, cucumbers, carrots, the fresh cilantro, as well as scallions. And then we have our edamame and our roasted cashews. It's really important that you get roasted cashews. If you can't find them, you can buy raw and just roast them in the oven yourself at 350 for about 15 minutes. This is looking beautiful. I also love this salad because it's pretty much every color of the rainbow. Like, you can't look at this and not think that it's super healthy for you. Getting all these vital nutrients in and beautiful colors just makes me feel super good.
Yeah, it's gorgeous salad. Once it's complete, it really does look like a rainbow.
I actually think this is probably enough cabbage because we do have quite a few other things to add. So I'm going to use my grater now, and I'm going to use the larger side of the grater to grate some carrots right into the bowl. We always talk on our show about investing in the right equipment because, you know, if you don't have these things and you're just cutting big chunks of carrots into your salad, it's not the same. I'm gonna do, let's see, probably 3 or 4 carrots.
I think we're almost good here with the edamame.
Great.
Another minute.
Do you wanna cut these scallions for me?
Sure. I'm gonna drain this.
Okay. Already, I love these colors, super bright. I also like to let the edamame cool just slightly, but I think adding a warm element into your salad helps to kind of like wilt it, but not too much. We still want to maintain a crunchiness, but I kind of like biting into something warm. So we'll let that cool for a minute or two while we finish up the rest of our ingredients here. I'm gonna do one more carrot. And then these little like snack cucumbers or Persian cucumbers are the best. They're super crisp, they have a nice bite to them, and the seeds are hardly even noticeable.
You wanna use all the scallion here?
Yeah, I think so. So just cutting our scallions finely. We have 3 carrots, which I think is more than enough. And then I like to, actually need that knife when you're done. I like to cut half moons with my cucumbers. So I'll just slice the end off and then cut them in half and then kind of slice them down in one line.
I'll use that and then I'll continue.
So cutting off the ends. Just cutting them in half. You want to lay them flat. When you're working on your knife skills, one important thing to note is you always want to create a flat surface for yourself to prevent rolling. That way you don't cut yourself, especially with things like potatoes or large carrots or anything like that. So we have this nice little half moon shape, and I'm going to throw these into the salad. I made this particular salad for the first time, I think last year. I was cooking for a yoga retreat. I'm also a yoga instructor, so this was like a dream job for me. And they wanted all plant-based food. And so I typically do one night, this was a three-day retreat, and I typically do one Asian night because it's my favorite cuisine and also something I'm very comfortable making. And this salad was a hit. So I'm also just gonna cut these peppers. What I like to do, we're gonna kind of roll the pepper so we get rid of the innards, like the seeds, and then just kind of make them square enough. I like to cut them in half, so we're doing kind of like matchsticks. Nice and thin. Thank you. So now we've got another color to add in. Looking so good.
Your knife skills are top notch.
Thank you.
I love watching you cut things.
Thank you.
Very precise, really is well trained.
Well trained with a little hint of OCD. It's a good combination. All right.
Nice.
I'll do one more pepper. We are really into saving scraps at home, so anytime you have carrots or scallion ends, our tip would be to save them, throw them in a bag in your freezer, and then in time you'll have enough scraps to make a stock. We typically make all of our stocks for clients from scratch. It's easy, you save money, you save waste, and I think they taste better. All right, so one more slice of peppers here. All right, there you go.
Thank you. I'm gonna add these two, the ones I've cut.
Oh. So already we have such a beautiful salad looking. So nice. And then I'm gonna add probably about a bunch of cilantro. In this particular salad, you can totally use the stem. So I'll cut basically right to where the rubber band is, and then I'll use all that cilantro. It really adds just like a brightness to your dish. If you're not a fan of cilantro, you can leave it out. Mint is also really good in this salad. But once Noah is done with the scallions, I think we can add the edamame, and Noah will chop the cilantro while I get started on our dressing. So I'm gonna leave this here for you.
All right.
Oh, And our cashews, almost forgot. All right, so I'm gonna leave Noah to chopping, and we're gonna come over here for our salad dressing. So this is a really, great dressing to keep on hand. I like to make a double batch of it and then keep it in the refrigerator. It's pretty simple. So we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of water going into the blender. I have about 1 tablespoon each of chopped garlic and chopped ginger in here. And then, let's see, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. I think rice vinegar is my favorite new vinegar, period. I've been using it in all of my salads. We have 3 tablespoons here of liquid aminos and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So there's a really nice balance here of acidity and sweetness. We're gonna give this a buzz real quick. Oh, actually, and we're gonna add half a lime. This lime really kicks up the freshness. And you can always adjust and add more if you need. So we'll give this a buzz just to kind of blend the garlic and the ginger. Bring it back down to about half speed and start to drizzle in our oil. Nice and slow. This is going to create that emulsion so that everything kind of combines evenly. So we have 1 tablespoon of sesame oil here. I'm going to add a little bit, let it mix, and then I'll just slowly drizzle this in. And then I have 1/3 of a cup of avocado oil here. And I'll just slowly drizzle this in. It's so good.
Such a good dressing.
Honestly, this is my favorite dressing I think that we make. We make a lot of salad dressings, but this one is top notch. All right, so Noah's thrown in the cashews here. Again, this is gonna add our element of crunch and kind of like a warm element because you're gonna get that nuttiness flavor since they are roasted cashews. And I'm gonna throw in our edamame, excuse my reach. So 2 cups of edamame about. And then our cilantro. You can never have too much cilantro. I know that's kind of a controversial opinion, but I would add a little more if you don't mind.
No.
Once that's in, we're gonna drizzle our dressing and give her a toss. And this salad in particular, because you have some more heavy duty vegetables in here, like the cabbage and the carrot, if you let it sit a little bit before you serve it, it helps to kind of break everything down. And I think this is one salad that's like even good the next day.
Totally. Yeah, if anything, the flavors really mix well together and it really elevates it.
Yeah.
The next day, it even pops even more.
All right, so I'm gonna start to drizzle in our dressing here. And this is a pretty substantial salad, so I might use all of this, but let's just start with about 3/4.
More.
And as you can see here, maybe you can get an overhead shot. Such beautiful colors, everything coming together. You really want the dressing to coat all of the elements in here. A little more cilantro. I love this. It looks like a confetti salad, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll just add a little bit more. So I didn't use all the dressing.
Okay, more cilantro coming in.
Woohoo! All right, and then we'll let this sit, and I think we're gonna finish our Thai iced teas.
Yes.
I can plate this up while you work on that. Please pass me our 2 bowls, please. Thank you.
Go, you're welcome. Move this out of the way.
So about how many glasses of tea would you say this recipe makes?
Yeah, it's probably a good serving amount for maybe 3 servings of the tea.
Okay.
Yeah, then everyone gets a little more than a cup of tea. So I went ahead and made some tea earlier so we could have it cooled off enough in order to make it. So you definitely want to let your tea cool because this is an iced tea after all.
How long would you say it takes?
I mean, I would say at least 2 hours to cool it in the fridge.
Okay.
So we've got our ice. With summer coming, this is going to be definitely a staple in our regular morning routine here.
Morning, afternoon,
Yeah,
I'm all about
it's a
it.
great afternoon pick-me-up. So, got the tea sweetened here with the maple syrup and the coconut sugar and a little bit of vanilla.
Yum.
Okay, let's add a little more here. And you're really just topping it with a little bit of the, get me a spoon, I want to spoon this in. So I don't overdo it. So this is coconut milk from the can. It's the light coconut, not the full fat one, but the light coconut. So I'm gonna spoon, I don't know, probably, well, we'll see.
Why the light versus full fat?
I had made it the first time I made it with the full fat. It just was like a little too much coconut, too thick, a little too, really too fatty tasting. The light coconut is really enjoyable, especially when it's all mixed together.
This looks so good.
Yeah.
We haven't had coffee in almost a year. It'll be a year in May.
We switched to tea.
So this is looking real nice. Yum.
Yeah, so that's kind of the classic look when you get a Thai iced tea out, maybe in a restaurant or whatever, and then just kind of mix it up and give it a taste.
It smells, I can smell the like nuttiness that you talked about from the coconut sugar. Cheers. Wow.
Yeah.
This is the best. We've made like 3 batches of this over the last couple days trying to perfect it. This is definitely the best.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. So this tea I had steeped at 3 minutes like I did earlier, and I think that's the key. You don't want to over steep your tea. Don't make it too bitter and too strong. I mean that packs a punch. That's gonna give us a nice little buzz in a minute.
And then we'll test our salad.
Yeah.
So we can get a little shot of this here. I just love the brightness. I love the color. And as I said, because everything is chopped a little bit smaller, you can get a little bit of everything in each bite, which is what we want.
Delish.
So good.
You can really taste every component. It's like just a well-proportioned salad. Everything is mixed.
The nuts are like such a nice little surprise in here.
Yeah, you kind of forget about the nuts. They sort of fall in between the leaves of everything else, and then you get a roasted cashew in your mouth. It's delicious.
Well, I'm excited to finish this, but thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you try out these recipes. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.